Hello, and welcome to The Music Prophet. It's going to be a good show today. We have the first live band, and they're also playing at Northern Lights, so I'm stoked to have them on and to hear them chat, but also play a couple tracks. So, this is Pop Mach, and let's do some names first.
I'm Cassandra Wally, lead guitar.
I'm Candice Duval. I do rhythm guitar and vocals.
And I'm Christopher Wally, and I'm the bass player.
I'm Emily Duval. I'm lead vocals and keys.
What got you into classic rock, and what was that start to just start jamming that style?
Well, we sort of started as a 7/8 rock band, and it's Emily speaking, by the way. And Cassandra and Chris had more exposure to classic rock than me. Back in those days when I was in grade 7 and she was in grade 8. So uniting at school, part of that rock band exposed me to classic rock, and it kick-started my love for it, for sure.
Yeah, I got more and more into it as we began to practice more and get together and really make a name for Pop Mach. I started really getting into classic rock. I think Cassandra and Chris's family was the primary influence for me, and
Yeah, my dad had a band in the 80s, and they kind of influenced us a lot just because they used to play classic rock songs, and
Yeah.
we thought it was super cool, so we decided to play some classic rock too, and we really
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss, I feel like, when it's in your house all the time.
yeah, that's
It
right.
is.
And it's kind of like, well, why aren't all the young people talking about this too? So that's kind of our goal, to play it for both the older and younger generations.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it about classic rock? Is there an element of it that just stands out above the rest?
It's all real instruments. It's just a lot of talent, and the songwriting is very good.
Yeah, I guess the word I would use to describe it is raw.
Yeah.
Authentic. Yes, authentic. You can hear the effort they put behind it. You can hear the decisions they make in real time. It's almost like the recordings are living. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it's a pure talent, and it's awesome.
What about you, Keegan? What is it about, what element of classic rock is just...
Probably the tone and the vibe, just it's real and in your face, and just has that action and presence, and makes you enjoy being around that music.
Yeah.
It's not like the modern stuff where it's sometimes just a DJ trying to get people hyped
Yeah.
over nothing.
Well, I feel, I kind of get what you mean with all of the instruments being put together, making a bigger whole. It's a bit of an atmosphere compared to other sounds
Yeah.
of the modern era. I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really
Just
good.
different feel.
Yeah.
A feel we really like.
Yeah.
We sure do. It's awesome.
What is the drive for that? Is when you guys go to choose a song to play, or when you're thinking, hey, let's write a new song, is feeling the first thing you go? Is tone and vibe the start, or what is that beginning?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
When
I think
we
so.
write originals, we kind of begin by just playing, and our playing style comes from the inspirations that we listen to all the time.
Yeah.
So some bands,
Led Zeppelin,
Van
Van
Halen.
Halen, yeah.
Triumph,
Iron Maiden.
Judas Priest.
Europe.
Scorpions. Def
Yeah.
Leppard.
Queen,
Scorpions.
Def Leppard, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All
So
of them.
all
Rush,
of these,
Boston.
yeah,
Oh,
Rush
yeah.
and Boston. So all of these bands kind of influence our playing style a little bit, and then we just kind of play together. And from there, we listen to each other, and the way we write our originals is kind of, sometimes Chris will play a riff, and I'm like, Chris, that's awesome, did you just make that up just now? And Keegan will say play it again, I want to play this cool rhythm with it. And then Cassandra starts improvising a solo, and then we work from there. It starts with the feeling.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's sort of dig into that actually with Chris. I'd be curious. When you come up with riffs, do you dig in from inspiration from bands, or is it natural that you have that ability to think of things that sound cool?
Usually I just jam in a certain key, or sometimes I get inspired by Keegan's drumming, the rhythm inspires my riff.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
You have a
Yeah,
real
they
sense
play off
for
of
rhythm.
each other. Lots of Chris's riffs are really heavy in rhythm, and
Yeah, they're rhythmic. They have this kind of flow to it. I really
Yeah.
like them, Chris.
yeah.
So where do the keys fit in there then?
Well, it depends. Usually, if there are keys, we don't actually have very many originals with keys in them right now, but usually when there are keys, like, I would wait, because the riff usually starts off our original writing. Especially, like, I've written all of the lyrics so far, except for 2 of our songs on our upcoming album, one of which was written by Cassandra and one of which was written by Adam, her father. But other than that, I've written most of the lyrics, and lyrics happen after the fact, after we have at least a good...
Well, kind of during. We start
During,
playing.
yes, but after at least there's a riff or a little bit of an idea of where we're going with it with music. So usually, myself, the things that I do, I play off of the rest of the band as they're figuring out instrumental stuff, because I go completely off of the feeling that it gives me.
And sometimes keys are in there, but, like, most of the time, because a lot of classic rock bands actually didn't incorporate keys all that commonly. And, like, it's great to do that. Like, I would like to write another original soon with
maybe
more
just, like,
keyboard.
some organ
Yeah,
sounds or
with some
something.
cool sounds. Because there are some.
It's really cool, yeah. Like Carry On Wayward
Magic
Son.
Power.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some synths and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, synthesizers.
Yeah.
Are there some go-to songs that that the entire band agrees we want to be like?
You mean, like, some songs
We like
made
it.
by, like some
Like,
cover songs that we
inspirational?
play that are, like, super inspirational?
Yeah, especially like even whether it's lyrically or
Magic Power
Some-
is really
Oh,
lyrically
yeah.
inspiring.
Yeah.
Spirit of Radio.
And Stairway to Heaven is
Stairway to
Yeah,
Heaven.
very
well, Zeppelin feel in general.
Yes.
Yeah, Zeppelin sort of rhythm and,
Yeah.
like, theatric lyrics as well.
Yeah, we've
that
been-
definitely inspires
And
me a lot.
songwriting.
and we've
too.
also been getting into a lot of Van Halen tunes lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie's solos and riffs are just so awesome.
Yeah.
it's kind of a funny contrast almost.
Yeah.
Like the Led Zeppelin lyric driven songs versus Van Halen, which is just a lot of rhythm.
And
They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Fun.
Fun.
Yeah. They're
Van
awesome.
Halen's like humorous as well.
Very
that
humorous.
always cheers me up.
It's
Same.
like the theatric element of putting on a show versus the element of, like, really thought-provoking lyrics. We'd like to combine all those traits in a bunch of our originals
Yeah.
coming up. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're all good inspirations for different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you find that inspirations change your daily life? Especially too, it's a big factor that you're younger than most musicians that are playing
Yeah.
steady shows. So do you find that the classic rock bands influence the way that you live your life too?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I got
definitely
Led Zeppelin
Cassandra.
posters upstairs in my room.
Yeah, she's definitely a hardcore fan. I think, yes, for me, it changed my listening habits. Before I got into music as a hobby and as a serious art, I would flick on the radio and just listen to whatever was on to just know what was playing. But as I started getting into classic rock, I started analyzing everything I listened to. Not that I didn't do it before, but it gave me a better comparison to listen to modern music versus classic music and how, like, what modern took and got inspired from classic.
What
And-
elements do you analyze?
Well, I just like to listen to the music now, like, how are they repeating themes in music? What is their creative use of rhythm? I like to listen
Yeah.
really closely to the lyrics, the topic, whether I've heard it before 1,000 times and whether
Yeah.
it's something totally new, like Ron You or something
Oh
like
yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
I've just consistently liked classic rock as a genre almost more than most others just because of all of those things.
Yeah.
When you pull it apart, it still stands. Like, if
Yeah.
you dissect classic rock, a song, you're always gonna be impressed. Well, that's what my
Yeah,
opinion
and I
is.
find sometimes, like, even if you've heard a song like thousands of times, every time you hear it, there's something new.
Yeah, there's
to
something
listen
else
for.
to listen for. That's right.
If it's like multi-tracked or like buried in the background somewhere, you'll like hear it when you're wearing headphones or something.
Like
It's-
harmonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the appeal behind popular music and the fact that people like to listen to what they know. For me, my opinion, that's not really the case because dissecting popular music doesn't leave you with much but a drum track and a few note melody, I guess. It just seems to be more about the person than the music now, which isn't my ideology. So that's part of the reason why I like classic rock a lot better. Sometimes the way classic stuff, you didn't even see their faces.
Yeah, it was
They
all
need to be
about the music.
glamorous or beautiful. It was about their talent. It was about their abilities. I love that.
Yeah, me too. I think that's really important.
Yeah, it was band driven. It wasn't all about one lead singer or
Yeah.
those background stories, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's like everyone in the band.
We use
is
that
important.
ideology for our performances too. We don't. Nobody prioritizes me
One
because I'm
person.
the lead vocals, or Cassandra because she does the solos or anything.
Because they're special in their own right, but everybody is.
Yes,
we all have a
everybody
part to
is.
play.
Yeah.
We all do like solos, and when one of us win, all of us win. So
That's right. The
Yeah.
teamwork is probably what kept us together this long.
Yeah.
The cooperation and all that. I think that's really important.
Mhm.
Second to the passion for music is like
Mm.
cooperation in your unit.
Yeah.
And what about drums then? Because it's sort of, I feel like in classic rock, drums play a big role,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
at the same time, when you look into the fan base and a lot of forums, drums are always a niche interest. So, do you find that? Like, how do you see your role in the band, Keegan?
Well, like it's an important role because you kind of need to have the backbeat, but
Yeah.
then at the same time, like the drummers, it's kind of like the bass player too. Like the drummers and bass, they're always like they don't get paid attention to as much. Even like in the classic rock days, it was always like focused on like the lead singers and stuff, more paying attention, and then they get all the like photographs and all that stuff. But even though like people don't really stop to think that without like the bass and drum section, there is no rock. You need somebody that, or well, two people that are in their back, kind of keeping that low end and the feel and time.
Yeah, I sure
Important,
hope that people understand that it's a team effort because
Mm.
I know that without Chris and Keegan, we would be like nowhere.
Yeah,
like
it wouldn't work.
we really appreciate everybody's talents in this band, and like I think that I just hope that people appreciate everybody's efforts.
Oh, yeah.
Because I sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you find inspiration from acoustic music as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Acoustic music is really good.
I began playing guitar with my teacher began teaching me lessons when I was like 7 years old. I'm currently not taking lessons, but I learned from classical pieces. Well, not taking like Royal Conservatory or anything. I learned from the classical guitar greats. Kind of, I learned music from them, and so there are some classical rock songs that utilize that a little bit, and
Yep.
I'm a big fan of like acoustic into electric
Yeah.
and vice versa because I think that it presents a range of dynamic that you can't get with just electric. I think it's really cool. So
Yeah,
like
like-
having
Adelante, agonizante.
yeah
Yeah. Like Triumph.
Yeah.
Eric Emmett.
It
It's
yeah.
awesome.
Whereas I actually am in Royal Conservatory. I was trained classically in piano since I was 6. And right now I'm in my grade 8 Royal Conservatory of Music. I'd say it really has helped with this band because for me, it's easier to learn by ear because I have had so much music exposure since being very young. That's helped me with just the feeling where it's going to go, dynamic, when I should be loud and stuff like that.
And it just generally really helps a music like profession if you are constantly immersed in a music atmosphere, whether that's lessons or just hearing music all the time and
Yeah.
during your upbringing, like these two, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it's true, right? Listening to music is your education almost, in a way.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
just
you
don't
enjoying
have
what
to
you
be-
hear.
You don't have to be trained like Candace and I were. Like, Cassandra started much later, and look how amazing she is.
Aw.
Yeah, and really all you need to do is listen to what you enjoy, mimic what you enjoy, make up whatever you want based on what you enjoy, and then just move on from that.
Yeah, like take inspiration and then like
Create-
merge your own like thing in there too.
Just
It's helped with song structure and things like
Yeah.
that.
yeah, you're right, Chris.
You don't even have to read music.
Music.
Like, not everyone in the Beatles could read music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of us don't read music.
Yeah.
And like we don't use sheet music or anything. We just kind of we make originals and then we keep
If you had to, you could read. If you had to, some of you could read it, but you don't.
Yeah, I can
It
read
would take me
music.
a long time.
It took me a little while, but
Yeah.
I can because of Royal Conservatory, but it's not the importance. Like, we learn by ear our covers, and we learn
Just playing over and over.
make our originals by improvisation.
Can we actually explore that a bit? Because I feel like that's an understated thing about, especially playing rock, because a lot of it comes from listening and hearing other bands. But since you have the classical and very technical background, I feel like that influences you as you add in your parts to the band and write lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, Candace's well, I don't want to interrupt. Candace's solos tend to be more focused on the notes. Like, she seems to be able to classically pick and stuff and do all that. I've heard her training for her lessons since I was young because she used to take them, so I can hear it coming out in her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well, it's true.
I mean, yeah. I'd say that probably listening is even more of an influence now for me, but classic training certainly doesn't hurt. And, like, I like being able to blend the rigidity of lesson and practice and drills with the improvisation and free feel of group rock. I like to be able to balance that, to find different ways to play with the different tones there. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And Emily's keyboard solos are kind of like that too. I think they're really cool.
My keyboard solos tend to sound classical sometimes, just not in their composer, because you can't just compose a classical song.
No, I know what you mean.
But the technique that I was taught, like, has made my fingers more nimble, so it's just an easier launch pad to start from for me.
So and I think starting to listen or play or practice music very young has personally helped me. It's not what everybody does, but I think that if you like music, you should get into it as soon as possible, because there's only more time to grow if you do.
Yeah, and the longer you wait, the harder it gets, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes, but not all the time, because Sandro, who's been playing like 4 years or something.
Oh, well.
Like,
It's been almost 6.
Yeah, I mean, like, electric specifically.
Oh,
Your
electric.
solos are so good.
Thank you.
It's true, the
and
solos
Chris, you
do have a
started
lot
later
more
too,
ability
right?
behind it.
Like 16 or something?
Yeah, I started when I was 16.
Yeah, he's
I
really good.
regret not starting earlier.
Oh, it's all right, Chris.
I
think
guess we
also-
should probably say ages too.
Oh,
That
yeah.
hasn't come up yet, and like you're saying 16, people listening might think that you guys are like, oh, you're 30, so that's been a while.
No.
So yeah, so like can we go around the circle?
Let's start with Keegan, because he's not here.
Yes.
Keegan is 16 years old.
Yeah.
I am 17. Emily.
I'm 17 also. We're twins, but you can't tell because it's a podcast.
Pretend they're in front of you.
And I'm 17.
Yeah.
And I'm 21.
He's the only one who can, like, legally enter the bars that we play in. And, like, but
Drink. Yeah. But it's not like we do that.
No.
No.
Not
We go in
really.
to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you get bigger, and then he's the guy who buys it, so it's perfect.
Probably won't happen.
Yeah. We're not too into that.
But is there a venue? Like, I mean, you guys have played a lot of schools, but is there a venue that you want to hit that's on a bucket list?
Oh, well,
Like a big
huge
dream venue?
dream. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it's unrealistic. Madison
course.
Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden, because Led Zeppelin played there, and I think I would faint if I walked in.
Perhaps Royal Albert Hall.
Oh yeah, Royal Albert
Yeah.
Hall in England, because Led Zeppelin played there.
You can definitely see how big of a fan she is.
Yeah, so anywhere that Led Zeppelin played, I mean...
Yeah, pretty much anywhere they played.
Yeah.
Oh, and haven't you been to Abbey Road before?
Yeah,
I've never gotten to go yet. I want to go.
A few years back, I think it was 6 years, we went on a family trip to England, and Chris and I, and we walked outside of Abbey Road Studios. It was pretty cool. We got to like sign the wall and everything. And
Yeah.
We walked on the crosswalk and everything.
I want to be able
was
to do
pretty
that at
fun.
some point. Be fun.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris? What is your dream venue to play bass in?
The Budweiser stage would be fun.
Oh,
yeah.
We saw Def Leppard there a few years back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
We're about to see Def Leppard again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In July.
Looking
Gonna
forward
be
to that.
awesome.
That's gonna be
So
so
Because
cool.
last time they went, I missed out because
Yeah,
I
there
was
was something
busy.
going on, right?
Yeah, but we can go this time, and we're so hyped.
I can't wait. Def Leppard is a big inspiration.
They're
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
We play lots of their covers as well.
Yeah.
Do you find your listening experience live changes? Now that you're playing so many live shows?
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
yes. Because
Definitely.
Yeah.
now we kind of understand. I know that I understand better what is the band, what the band is responsible for,
Yeah.
what the sound crew is responsible for. There's a
Yeah.
big team behind big bands like that some people don't like actually realize.
Well,
how
no one
much-
knows they exist. They just see the band on stage, right?
Yeah.
I know the average listener takes the band's sound as one sound, like one wall of sound. That's the point. But having played out live and being like 4 years or 5 years, how long have we been
4
together?
years. Yeah.
4 years.
Almost 5.
Yeah,
Almost 5, yeah.
together. Naturally, it became quite easy to pick out all the different parts of it. So now, like, I notice the bass more. I appreciate the drumming pattern. I
yeah.
listen to the solos. It's not just watch the lead singer and hear the single sound.
And
it's
what's
like
kind of cool,
everyone. It's cool. I appreciate everyone.
what's kind of neat is that sometimes we had backstage experience with Helix and Prism.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got to meet them. They like, there were some solos that were
That's
right up
so
close.
sick.
Super cool. But yeah, we got to stand where the backstage crew was and watch them as they constantly monitored the performance.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, right.
Like, and
Yeah.
I remember seeing the guitarist, I think it was the guitarist of Helix,
Oh, yeah.
turn and just make a tiny like finger gesture, and the guy was all over the board. I was like so impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
like-
this is a big deal. And though a lot of people think it's well, they don't announce their presence like the band does because the band is the theater part of it, right? But similarly, we've had a lot of support for
Yeah.
these 4
Yeah.
almost 5 years, and like I really want to at some point just celebrate them. Like let's just talk
Yeah.
about them. They're so
Actually,
important
we
for
honestly
us.
can. I mean, because I've known sound guys are an important part of it. So I mean, let's delve into it. Who are some people that you've worked with? And
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah.
Adam does our sound
Hi.
most of the time, well, almost all the time when we're jamming down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at our like bar venues.
He's
and
really
stuff.
humble, but don't listen to him.
No, he's really important. Yeah, Adam has gotten to know our sound really well,
Mhm.
knows how to kind of coax with our
Yeah.
volume.
Yeah, he knows how to basically ride the wave of our songs.
And he knows our songs so well that he can like turn up our solos.
Yeah.
Like
So thank
Harmonies
you
and
for
stuff.
being like so dedicated and attentive all the time and supportive, Adam. Because like
Yeah.
without
Very
your
welcome. It's a labor of love.
without your enthusiasm, I probably would have been like, well, your enthusiasm was definitely one of the main ingredients of this music thing, this classic rock thing, is a big deal, and
Yeah.
like your
Yeah.
excitement is contagious. So
Yeah.
thank you. And we've also
Yeah.
had a lot of like inspiration
yeah.
and support from the school system that
Yeah.
we came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Ross was awesome. He
Yeah.
supported us a lot, and
Yeah, we
our friends and family too.
part, as we had said before, I think, a couple of us had begun as a grade 7 and 8 rock band in Lively High, and then we decided to change the members up and then move forward on our own after that. But Mr. Ross was like super inspirational, so that's the
Yeah.
music teacher over there. He's amazing.
Yeah, he first put me on the electric guitar, and it was a really good idea.
I was
'cause-
still afraid of singing in public before him. He helped us a lot, I'd say.
yeah.
when did you start singing?
Well, that's a difficult question.
Well, I suppose I should frame it as when you start singing with intent.
Oh, okay. Well,
That would be like one of our community choirs and
Yeah.
plays, right? When we were young, like probably 10,
10 or something.
we would sometimes participate in community musicals and stuff made for small kids.
Yeah,
Um,
because
and that helped Candace break out of her shell a little bit.
a little bit, but I was still quite afraid of that. And like before that, I would sing for family events or whatever. But mostly before the age of around 10 to 12, I was so afraid I couldn't even sing it for my parents. So like, it really matters to have support that can see the potential you have, or else you might never get brave enough to practice it yourself.
Yeah, that's why Mr. Ross was one of our main influencers.
And
Yeah.
and parents, of course.
Yeah,
I was terrified of
yeah.
singing when I was really young too, but I broke out of my shell before she did. So I also sort of
Yeah. What about
basically
you?
dragged you to
Yeah, you had a-
audition for
you
the
did.
7 and 8 rock band. So I play a small part in Candace's involvement.
Yeah, we inspire each other as well.
Yeah, we all inspire each other.
Yeah.
It's the way it should be, though.
Yeah, I
Really.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we're all a part of each other's growth in music, then we kind of become a little bit more inseparable that way.
Yeah, kind of like a
Yeah.
family.
More like a unit, and the family part, I think, is one of the key ingredients of Pop Machine's success. Everybody in this group and the support that follows it loves each other.
Yeah.
It's not animosity, it's not, we are together for a brand, or money, or just the music, but I don't like you. Like, that's not the tone of this at all. It's this big group of
It
people
helps
who
that
love
we
each other and
live
love
near each
music.
other.
That is actually a big important part.
Say
The
that
fact
again.
that you're all neighbors,
It helps
basically.
that we live near to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're not exactly on the same block, but we're all in Lively.
Yeah.
Just a couple streets.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
have to like walk for 2 minutes and get from one end to the other.
That's
Yeah.
really important. I'm kind of afraid of the future in that sense, because, like, people go places. We don't know what our education and, like, jobs and stuff is going to take us. I would love to do this kind of thing full time, but I also have other, like, hobbies that I like, and I don't know. We are currently trying to stick around, though, so that we can...
Yeah, I would
Continue
definitely
going.
travel, like,
Yeah,
just to practice, for sure.
yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I would drive
Yeah,
2
I would
hours
too.
to a jam every week. I don't know.
Same.
Adam's stoked for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm doing fist pumps over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you're right, that's probably a big factor, right? The fact that you're all really close and you're able to jam, and then it keeps you really close as friends too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, not only is it a way to show our appreciation for music, it's also a way for us to show how we can rely on each other. Being in a band is kind of like a group sport that way, because we're all working towards a goal. We're spending a lot of energy, getting excited about something we all love, and then
Yeah.
participating in it together makes our bond a lot stronger than, like, other people I've met. I don't know, like, I think it's one of the best ways to make friends, sharing a passion that way.
And I think that's a really good way to end it.
Yeah.
I think so too.
So thanks for coming on, and it's you guys can catch Pop Machine at Northern Lights on which day?
We're playing on the Thursday and the Sunday. I believe we're playing at 6:30 on the Thursday and 7:30 on Sunday.
And also our album is coming out
On
Yes.
the 28th.
On the 28th. Yep.
of June. It's gonna be so good.
Do you still have tickets? Because the last time I saw you guys were almost sold out, which is pretty insane.
No, we're
Yeah.
sold
Yeah,
out.
we're
Are sold out.
We are sold out?
Yeah,
Yes,
we are.
we are. There
That's
was a post
incredible.
just lately on the Facebook
Yeah,
page.
I think
Oh,
just
I live
posted
under a
it
rock when it
yesterday.
comes to social media.
Oh, that's okay.
Check our page more often.
I will check our page more.
We're
And if you're
sold
listening, you
out.
should also check their page too,
Oh yeah.
to stay up to
Yep,
date.
we're on Facebook.
Pop
Instagram,
machine,
too.
exclamation mark for the eye.
Yep.
YouTube
Actually-
channel as well.
Sorry, Pop Machine Lively.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, Pop Machine Lively works too. 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 Right, Pop Machine